Are you resisting success? Are you resisting your vision? If you're a female leader in the not-for-profit sector, how confident are you actually that you are on path, on purpose to really achieve what it is you feel that you have to bring to this fabulous world? That's what I want to talk about in this video, because it's that age-old story of wanting to fit in, wanting to be liked by others, not wanting to rock the boat, having to follow rules, regulations, policies. And so much of this behavior is totally automatic, and it's very difficult sometimes to acknowledge or to be aware of the fact that you're not going in the direction you want to go, and you only realize that when you potentially tell yourself it is too late. Now, why is that a problem? Well, this automatic behavior, these things that we do absolutely every day that we don't question, we're saying yes to people and smiling to people, and of course I'll do that, and yes, that's a brilliant idea. All of these things are brilliant at taking us kind of off course. And when you are constantly saying yes to other people, in the long term, it actually becomes quite easy to slip into victim mode. Now, if you find yourself in that position, you're likely to be saying to yourself, well, I couldn't do that because I had to do, somebody else suggested I do this. Somebody else told me that what I wanted to do, my vision, my dreams, that they would never work out. And that actually, if I wanted to help others, if I wanted to achieve my goals, I should be going at it from a different approach. And this victim mentality, when that happens, what you're basically doing is you're giving away your power. You are relinquishing ownership, not only of your dream, your vision, the thing that you want to do to make the world a better place, but you're relinquishing power of who you are. You are giving away an element of the fabulous human being that you are. You are making yourself weaker. You are giving yourself permission to be weak. Coming into this victim mentality, this victim mode, it was never going to work out. I couldn't possibly, I don't want to say fight, but I couldn't possibly resist what other people were telling me to do or suggesting I should do. And that is resisting your vision. That is resisting your dream. And it's really, really bad news, because like I said, one day you're potentially going to wake up and you think, what happened? So what can you actually do about this? It's hard work. I'm not going to pretend it's easy. And it's something I work on myself every single day, and something I talk about my clients with, the whole mindset thing, becoming the person that you want to be instead of relinquishing permission and slipping into that victim mode so that you give yourself permission to fail. It's something you have to work on every day. And the best thing you can do, number one, every evening, is to just ask yourself, how did I do today? How proud am I of myself, of what I actually did today? Now, this doesn't have to do with, particularly, if you're a parent, if you're tired and you feel absolutely exhausted. If you've achieved something, if you feel like, this was good, you are still going to feel a sense of exhilaration somewhere, even if you are exhausted. You are going to feel contented, as opposed to feeling confused. I don't know where the time went today. So check in with yourself at the end of every day. What was good about today? Did I actually achieve something? And if the answer is no, I don't know where the time went, I'm feeling a little bit confused, it's all a bit too much, that's a clear indication that you have strayed from your path. Start writing stuff down. What is it you really want to achieve? Number two, and again, this can be a little bit tricky because it does actually require some self-discipline. Go back to what you loved to do as a child. Now, even as somebody who worked in not-for-profit sector for more than 25 years, who's continued to do so even in a self-employed capacity, this is something also I have to bring myself back to, not on a regular basis, but now and again, particularly after the pandemic or the environment that we currently find ourselves in, because so much was sent into a spin over the past couple of years. So what did you really, really love to do as a child? There will be a lot of clues there for you about where you should be going. And potentially, if you think, well, as a child, I wanted to save the world. As a child, I loved, playing with other children, helping other children, or whatever it was you did. And if you can then identify the gap between what you love doing and what you're doing now, bringing into your awareness where you might be failing yourself by resisting your vision, resisting your dreams, your goals that you want to achieve because of potentially what's going on around you. And number 3, if neither of those things really work, because it is hard work. This is something I did. One client in particular, she did this. We'd been coaching for a while and she was not getting the results. She wasn't getting clarity. And as a coach, that can also be challenging because clearly I want to help you and people like you to find out your purpose so that you just go out there, those trailblazers, change makers, soulful innovators, and change the world the way you want to change the world. So this particular client, like I said, we'd been coaching together for a few weeks and she wasn't getting the clarity she wanted. So what I gave her was a typical coaching exercise called the rocking chair exercise. Some people call it the 90th birthday. Some people talk about funerals, pretend you're in a coffin. I like the rocking chair version of this. And basically what you do is you close your eyes, do a little bit of visualization. You imagine that it is your 90th or your 95th or even your 100th birthday. And you're sat in your rocking chair. There is a fabulous party going on around you. You've got all your family, you've got all your friends, maybe you've got grandchildren, great-grandchildren there. But you're just sat there with your eyes closed, slowly rocking, soaking up the atmosphere and just feeling so joyous, so grateful, so happy about the life that you've led. And then somebody comes up to you and says, can I just chat to you? And you open your eyes. Yes, of course. You're so happy to see all these people. Of course you're going to talk to them. And they say to you, this is such a lovely party and there are so many people here and clearly everyone's happy, having a lovely time. You look so happy. Thank you, Twinkle. What was the best thing that you've done in your life? If you look back over your career, over everything you've achieved, what do you think was the best thing that you ever did? And rely on the answer that comes to you. Trust the answer that comes to you. Now, when I did this with this client several years ago, she didn't come back to me then for a couple of weeks. It took her a couple of times to kind of breathe deeply, close her eyes and get into this visualization mode. But then she came to me and she said, I've got it. I know what I want to do now. I want to go and work with a children's charity actually in Africa. I don't want to be stuck in a 9-to-5 in a bureaucracy with lots of red tape, having to look at all these pieces of paper. I want to be on the ground actually helping people. Now, what I didn't tell you was that she was a qualified lawyer and she came from a country where education was an absolute privilege. This meant that she had this mindset that her parents had instilled upon her, albeit subconsciously, that they had given up everything to send her to university, to pay for her training so that she could become a lawyer. And she'd worked extremely hard. And then it was assumed that she would go into an international organization and do all the work and be very professional and turn up in a suit every day and get promoted up through the ranks. That wasn't who she was. Yes, she was a lawyer because on a deep, deep level, she wanted to help people. It was human rights. It was children's rights that she really, really cared about. And when she recognized that, she resigned from her position. She left. I actually heard from her once to say that she was going, and I never, ever heard from her ever again. I'm going to assume that she is still doing what she absolutely loves. But that recognition, if you like, that she had been resisting her vision, she had been resisting her goal because of inadvertently not wanting to upset her parents, because they had given up so much for her to be able to go and study. She was actually making herself miserable in the process. Now, I'm telling you all this because, as I said, more and more people I'm having conversations with, I can't do it. I don't know where to start. Well, the only person who can give yourself permission to start is you. And if you do feel that you are resisting, you are hesitating in some way, Ask yourself, is it because of you or is it because of external circumstances? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be something outside. And sometimes those beliefs, as with that client, we don't even recognize them immediately. The whole likability, need to fit in, do as society expects me. But sometimes those patterns that we have go very, very much more deeper than we think they do. So number one, at the end of every day, how are you feeling about what you achieved? If something's wrong, if you're exhausted and you feel like you've achieved nothing, there's a good indication that you are off course, that you are not making any headway towards what it is you want to achieve. Number two, look back to when you were a child. What did you love to do? Because that emotion of feeling happy and just enjoying life and where you are now, that's the gap. That's the gap that you then have to work on filling. And number three, if neither of those things work, the rocking chair test. Imagine you're 1995 and somebody says to you, what's the best thing you ever did in your life? What are you most proud of? Because frequently, at the very latest, then you will get the answer of which direction you should be heading in. I hope that helps you. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment or share. If you'd like to get in touch with me about how I could potentially help you, how we could work together, help you achieve your vision, there's a link below for you to book a call, and I'd love to hear from you. In between times, stay safe, stay healthy, stay fabulous. Loads of love and bye for now.